Okay guys, so this is content creation 101. In this video, essentially what I'm going to be doing is going through what is content, why it's important, and how you can get started today. Yeah guys, so people tend to overcomplicate content completely. Essentially, what is content? Content is a form of art. It's simply a form of art, guys. Kind of like music, kind of like physical art pieces. It is just a form of art. It's an art form. Why is it important? Content is important because it is the new way and the new wave of marketing. Now, most businesses that are old-fashioned tend to, how can I put this? Stay in their old-fashioned ways and they don't want to innovate, adapt, and create. Well, you can stay there and stop innovating and creating and adapting if you want your business to be capped at a certain level. But if you want your business to grow, or your personal brand to grow, or your promotion of whatever product or service that you're selling to grow, you must be creating content. It's the new form of marketing. So how can you get started? Guys, to get started with content, all you simply need to do is, it's just 4 letters, very, very simple. P-O-S-T, post. I'm gonna write it again here. I'm gonna write it again here. I'm gonna write it again here. Post. To get started with content, all you have to do is post. P-O-S-T. All you have to do is post, guys. That's how you get started. You don't have to buy a massive camera, spend all this money, or get the newest iPhone to get that nice quality. Guys, all you need to do is use the devices that you have in front of you. Use the resources that you have and simply post. Because what I say of content is that it's better to post something than to post nothing. Even if what you post is terribly bad, you can post the worst content, guys. It could fail, it could flop, but at least now you know what doesn't work. So now you can use that idea or that piece of content that didn't work for you or that failed or didn't get as many views as you thought it was gonna get, and you know this piece of content isn't good. And guess what? Sometimes you might post some content that you think isn't going to do well and it does well. I've had multiple times where I've made content for an artist or content for a client or content for myself even, whereby I think the content's not going to do well and it does way better than I expected or the artist expects or the client expects or even I expect. So sometimes you need to remove yourself from the situation and just P-O-S-T. That's the word of the day. Post, post, post. Get crazy with posting. Post as much as you possibly can. I'm gonna wipe this whiteboard. I'm gonna get to the next section. We're just gonna be covering the basis of content creation, what it is. Obviously, we've just gone through what is content, how you can get started. But now we're going to go into the more finer details. I'm just getting my meta glasses ready to, you know what I'm saying? But, okay guys, so the next section that I want to cover on this topic of content creation is, I'm going to write it with a different color. Where could I take this? Because I could take this a million different places, guys. But I think for today, what we will touch upon is, okay. No, this pen is not cooperating right now. Okay, guys. I'm going to give you guys a quote and then we're going to talk about the quote. Don't reinvent the wheel. Okay, this is the quote of the day. I've given you guys the word of the day, which is post, which I'll actually write up here so you can remember it. P-O-S-T. That's a T now. Post is the word of the day, but don't reinvent the wheel. That is the quote of the day. Okay, guys? So how does this link to content? How does this link to content? This links to content because I've seen so many people who haven't ever posted in their whole entire life wanting to reinvent the wheel. They want to think of this crazy idea that they think is going to be some revolutionary piece of content that's going to go crazy and do so many views. Guys, what you want to do, whatever industry you're in, is don't reinvent the wheel, okay? Don't reinvent the wheel. Find what is performing in your industry, find a content creator in your industry or in your niche or whatever, and simply copy and paste. Guys, this pen is running out, by the way, guys. But find whoever in your industry is winning. And winning simply means they are making consistent pieces of content that is performing very well in their industry. So it could be their videos are getting shared a lot, they're getting a ton of likes, they're getting a ton of views, they're getting a bunch of engagements, a bunch of comments, whatever. But find whoever is winning. Find the winners. Hope you guys can read my handwriting as well. I got my pen license in year 3, so yeah, I was one of the early ones. So you can't judge my handwriting, okay? I got my pen license. Some of you guys didn't even get your pen license, okay? But yeah, find the winners. Find whoever's winning in your industry or your niche. And then secondly, you want to copy the winners. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking to yourself that it's not original to copy the winners. It's not. You want to think of this brand spanking new idea, and I want to break that pattern in your head a little bit and kind of reframe your mind that there is nothing new under the sun. Everything that is to be created has already been created. Do you get what I'm saying? So when you're copying the winners, what you're actually doing is finding a winning formula and making it your own. Now, should you pretend to be someone or start acting with all their mannerisms and copying their sentences word for word and start wearing the same clothes as them? No, you shouldn't. But follow their formula. Follow how do they create their content. Like this content style that I'm doing right now, this was inspired by Nero Knowledge. He's a YouTuber who's been posting for a couple of years. He makes content, spiritual content to be specific, and he does this whiteboard type of content. And now I'm doing this whiteboard type of content. I literally found a winner, okay, and I copied the winner. Do you know what I'm saying? Because guys, if you're finding a winner and you copy the winner, it's likely that you're due to be the next winner. It's that simple. It's literally that simple. So find the winner, copy the winner. And when I say copy the winner, I mean their format. So it might be a type of format that they do. Some might be educational, some might be entertainment based, but find the winner, copy the winner and make it your own. You want to make their content, you want to copy their formula while still keeping your character and your characteristics and the way you talk, the way you speak, the way you dress. Keep that the same, but copy their formula and mash the two together. Because when you put these two together, what this allows you to do is create high converting content. You're able to produce high converting content. This simply means if you're selling I don't know, insurance. If you're a real estate agent, you're selling properties. If you have a book that you're selling, if you have music that you're selling, you are going to create high converting content because you found a winner and then you copy the winner. Okay? Now that you're creating high converting content, this is going to allow you to become the next winner. Okay? Because you found the winner, you copied the winner, and now you're creating high converting content because you copied the winner and his formula. Now you will become the next winner. It's just that simple, guys. You want to find the best formula which is doing well within whatever niche you're in, and just do that. Don't overthink it. Because when you try to reinvent the wheel and you don't listen to this don't, and you just read it as reinvent the wheel, when you look at it from that perspective, now you're going to get in your head too much. You're going to be thinking about it too much. You're going to be thinking, wow, you're going to be in bed all day, scrolling through TikTok or Instagram, thinking about ideas, but really all of your ideas in your head are actually inspired by the winners. So make sure that you follow this quote and you don't reinvent the wheel. You just simply find a winning formula and you copy that. Okay. This is the third and final piece, which we'll touch upon today. And this third and final piece is arguably the most important piece, because the first two are just things that you kind of have to, they're more so principles that you just should follow. But this third piece is a bit more of a strategy for you guys, okay? So we went over the principles, which is don't reinvent the wheel, and the aim of the game is to post, post, post. Now we're going over a strategy for you guys. The strategy is based upon the formula. So essentially, what you want to do is find what formula you can do on a consistent basis. So find repeatable content types, okay? So I'm gonna list a few formulas, and then in your heads, guys, you can kind of go through the different types of formulas that you can, no, I messed up, guys. It's not formulas, it's actually, formats. Forget the formulas, it's formats, okay? Hope you guys can read that. Formats. These are the formats. I'm going to list them here, and then you guys can have a peek at them. First one is education. Ooh. We just dropped the pen lid. It's all good though. Education is the first one. Secondly, we've got entertainment. The next one is storytelling. Yes, that's a format. Yes. Okay, let me do this properly. We got it, guys. We got it in the end. Storytelling. It's mad because you was talking about storytelling earlier as well. So you've got education, entertainment, storytelling, and I'm gonna do one more for you guys. Oh yeah, and then we can go for promotional as well. So here are the 4 different formats. You've got education, you've got entertainment, you've got storytelling, and you've got, last but not least, promotional. These are the 4 formats which you can use. Well, there's a few more as well, but these are the ones that we're going to touch upon today. So within your business, you want to find a video, okay? Find a video in the education format. Yeah, find a video that is performing well online, and essentially copy and paste that format. Same thing for education, for entertainment, same thing for storytelling, same thing for promotional. Because when you put together all of these, it allows you, let me draw this in, guys. It allows you to be what they call, well, I'll do it down here actually. content creating powerhouse. Okay, I hope you guys can read that. All right. Okay. So when you mash together and it's like you're attacking from 4 different angles rather than just using one of these. So some of you guys simply only create promotional content. Now it's like your audience sees you as someone who's just pushy, just trying to sell them something all the time. Or maybe it's education. So now people just see you as a free resource and not an actual business or brand or a person who, when you have something that of value in the marketplace, no one actually wants to come and buy it. So now when you do a mixture of all 4 of these different formats, you become a content creating powerhouse because you're hitting them like in boxing. You've got your jab, you've got your straight, you've got your hook. You're hitting them with a jab with the education. You're hitting them with a right hand with the entertainment. And you're also hitting them with a promotional with your hook. So it's like you're coming from different angles. And this is going to allow you to have a more diverse social media page and basically just help put together your brand that you're building. So yeah, guys, overall, content creation 101, this is the first lesson which we're going through. And yeah, I want to go through the key points. So obviously here we've got formats. We also went through the power of posting. Post is the key word. And last but not least, we also have the quote for all of you guys to remember today and tomorrow and the day after that, which is don't reinvent the wheel. So if you vary your formats, you post, and you don't reinvent the wheel, you are on the path to becoming a content creating powerhouse.